for his countrymen here at the Itacoatiara Pro. Now out in the water, we are getting ready to see.
Looks like Omri, Lester, and Dudu Pedro. Okay, this is going to be a pretty amazing heat. Omri has a chance, I guess. He can move ahead of me in the rankings. And so I think Andrew's right there as well. It's really close amongst the top two and back. Winnie's got a pretty good lead, but everyone else is like pretty tight. So this should be a good heat, this next one. Both Dudu, it's his local break. He knows this place probably better than anyone. Andrew and Dudu surfing good. Andrew national champion in Australia, great rider, surfs everything well. And then Omri Laverne, a two-time world champ, or one time or two-time? Gosh, seems like two times. One-time world champion.
2010 world champion.
The year that he won it in a dominant fashion. He finished it. He won the title in Portugal, which was the earliest I think ever. So up in, let's see, is this guy coming in? Yeah. Okay, Lester's up, first heat. Okay, little air. And it looks like he's going to get another section here. Nice roll, projected roll. He does those extended pretty well. Dudu Pedro up.
Dudu dropping in. Dealing with the bumps across the face, trying to drive for speed. Gets a nice little invert off the end section there. But the ripples going up the face of the wave definitely affecting the riders today.
Yeah, it makes it really difficult to hit it well, because you want to basically get a clean line that you can turn from the takeoff straight down and up into the lip, and you can't always do that out here because it does have little chops in it, or rips or whatever, anomalies. So.
All right, and Mike was mentioning the current World Tour standings. Coming into this event, Dave Winchester was in first with Jeff Hubbard in second. Mike, you're currently sitting fourth on the World Tour, and Omri is 10th. So a little breathing room there between you and Omri.
I don't know what's his points.
Omri coming into this event with 2,900 points. You currently sitting with 3,900 points.
Oh yeah. Okay, maybe I'm confused. That's usually the case.
But you're sitting in pretty good position right now on the World Tour at the halfway point.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's like I said, it's pretty tight amongst the I think I was like, if I did okay in this event, I think I could have moved to second. But that's not going to happen. So
there we can see on screen the scores dropping: a 5.25 for Andrew Lester's first wave, a 4.13 for Dudu Pedro, and Omri Laverne still looking to get on the board. And you know what, Mike? I think.
Yeah, I'll stay.
I thought Manny Vargas was going to step in the booth for me.
It's up to you, Manny.
But you know what? We're going to let Manny rest up for one more heat and then bring him back into the booth. But he's going to hang out with us here in the booth anyway, off camera. But anyway, as I was about to say, you look at the top five in the men's World Tour standings right now. Dave Winchester, a runner-up from a previous vice champion. Jeff Hubbard, two-time champion. Mitch Rollins, never really ranked in the top three, but, very good style, very strong competitor. And then there's you with your 9 world titles, more than anybody else in the history of the sport. And Ben Player, two-time world champ, sitting in the 5th position. So that's some pretty stiff competition right there. Best of the best on the men's World Tour in the Grand Slam series.
Yeah, this is, this event I think is a pretty critical event for the tour ratings. It's definitely a time when people, if you falter like I did, other guys can move ahead and put some distance between yourself and other riders. Okay, this is Dudu up on a left.
You can see him dropping in, driving down the line, trying to maintain a good speed line, but a little chop.
Oh,
goes for the air roll spin off that section. It looked like he dug his nose on the landing and just got caught up in the whitewash.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of made the rotation, but then it caught a rail trying to spin around. Here we go, Omri.
Nice invert from Omri on that one.
In and out. I think everyone's seen how the scores have gone down. I mean, this is why it pays attention, why it pays off to pay attention to the heats, because airs have been scoring high. So everyone's looking for airs now. Magno got an 8, and now everyone's going to be focusing on airs. And once that gets played out, then we'll see what the next trick is going to be. But right now, I think a lot of guys this heat are going to be focusing on airs. So it'll be it's a good. You can see the difference between the different styles.
Yeah, we've seen some inverts that have been forced. We've seen some riders really air it out. A broad spectrum of style when it comes to these maneuvers out in the water.
Yeah, it's you got Amory Laverne, who comes from Reunion Islands, and across the Indian Ocean and a continent is Andrew Lester, comes from the east coast of Australia, Cronulla area. So his local spot's Shark Island, but he surfs beach breaks well. I mean, he's been on the national tour there, and he's just surfing really good this year. As is Omri. I mean, Omri had a great showing in Chile as well. And then Dudu, it's home spot. He's surfing well. And he knows this place very well. And not only that, but he's a judge, so he knows what the judges want to see.
And here we have in blue.
Yeah, blue up and riding. Good boost. A nice invert.
Speaking of Dudu Pedra.
And that's spelled D-U-D-U for all those people in America.
Yes. Yes, down here in Brazil, you will see names like Dudu and even Duda for the female version.
Oh, really? Interesting. I didn't know that.
Actually, I have a niece. Her nickname is Duda.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting. So it looks like the swell is kind of continuing to drop here a little bit, making it. And even when it's small like this, you can see the chop between ourselves and Omri there. It's just that whole wave face is pretty bumpy. So you don't really want to be in that little zone where the current is making it all bumpy.
Yeah,
sometimes you don't have a choice.
You can see the current just rippling out right up the face.
You don't have a choice a lot of the time. So, okay, it looks like Andrew Lesser got the higher score of that air exchange. I'm not sure if the one from Dudu came in yet, but okay, so that was.
You can hear the beach announcer updating the scores. We'll update the graphic on screen. And it sounds like Dudu Pedro with a 5.65 on his last wave. Just waiting for the graphic to update with the live scoring. Little paddle battle out there. Lester, Dudu Pedro, both take a look. Let it go by.
Yeah, probably just a closeout. So this is going to make it pretty tight. So looks like Omri's one air got a little higher score than Dudu's air. And Andrew seems like he's kind of in command of this. What's up, guys in the booth? What's up, Jeff, Riggs, Weenie, everyone getting ready over there. What's up, brother? Give it a, yeah, there you go. Get ready.
Winnie waxing up, Hub grooving out.
Yeah. Weenie getting his groove on. Yeah. Yeah, there
One
you
of
go.
your guys, Riggs.
Riggs. Getting the board plug in there. Thanks, Riggs.
All right, and now back out in the water. There you can see Andrew Lester in the yellow jersey.
Yep. Let's see. So it's so Andrew's got a 5.25, a 6.43, and he's got a pretty. I mean, his lowest scoring wave is higher than anyone else's highest scoring wave. So he's in pretty good shape here. But 20 minutes remaining. There can be, with the guy at the talent level in the water, anything can happen. And anyway, so here we go.
Right, and let's see. Yeah, so right now, Andrew Lester in the lead with a 6.43 and a 5.25. Dudu Pedro in second with a 4.13 and a 5.65. And Amari Laverne with a 4.95 sits in third. He needs a 4.84 at this point to move forward. And then you can see the guys in the competitors' booth. Amari up and riding.
Good lines. Oh, nice punching through the lip. Coming out clean. Yeah, not much more can be said about that. Just he had a pretty good line to it. I mean, you'll see the guys with a little bit more experience, they can wait patiently. That was a pretty long wait for Omri for that wave, but it should help his cause there. I'm not sure if it was the wave that he wanted, but we'll see. See what the judges think.
Well, I'm guessing, since I've never even been anywhere close to that status, that being a world champion or a former world champion, you learn to develop an innate sense of patience out in the water. You get a feel for the situation out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine balance, really fine balance actually, between being assertive and applying yourself strongly, and being loose and light. And everyone has a different approach to it. You can see like just even guys warming up like Winnie and Jeff, and they're just like trying to keep it pretty light. They know there's a ton of consequence to this next heat, so keep it light and make it as fun as you can, because it's probably going to be a grind, when they get down to it. So everyone's got to find their own little balance, and between keeping it light and keeping it kind of hardcore. And everyone's a little different. Everyone's applies a little differently. So some guys like Omri, you'll just see like he's pretty hardcore. Other guys like Winnie are probably on the opposite side of the spectrum. They just like keep the whole thing real light. And this year it seems to be working pretty well for them.
Yeah, I've noticed through the course of the competitions that I've worked both on the U.S. National Tour and for the IBA, whether it's as an event coordinator or commentary, each guy has a different approach. Some guys are super tuned in, headphones on, blinders on, just focusing on stretching out and what they have to do out in the water. And other guys, like you saw with Winnie, super loose. What was your approach? Well, we'll get to that after this wave.
Oh, junk, in and out. So that tells you something right there. Like Dudu, with one of the most experienced guys out here, with 20 minutes left, has time and takes that wave. So, it's pretty tricky. That's all I'll say. For me, I think it's varied over time. Like I say, you just have to strike a balance, and it might be different for different events. But I don't know. Like I think part of my problem and part of the strongest things I have for me is I got a super high standard, and so most times I'm not surfing to how I feel I should be surfing, and that can work against me a lot. So I do gotta be a lot more loose. Like today, my strategy probably should have just been go out and get one good wave. Like I watched Jake's heat where he had basically just started with one simple move. Just a big roll. Okay, that's a good campaign starter, and it scored pretty decent. And from there, he just kind of built up. Got the sets, did one big move, and just kind of built it from there. Nothing too complicated. And so that paid off well. Like his strategy was perfect, in tune with what the conditions are. You see guys that are kind of like in sync, and they're just kind of in tune with what's happening. They have the right approach, and you can model yourself after those guys as well. So there's something to gain from watching all these heats, for sure. So that's my long-winded explanation, I guess.
No, it's great explanation. I mean, everybody has their own approach. It's always cool to kind of pick the brain of, the riders and just kind of see where they're coming from, and appreciate the insight on that.
Yeah, no worries. Just.
All right, and you know what? Right now we're going to throw things down to Alex Leon on the beach with the winner of the last heat. Take it away, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Well, no better way to start the day down here and with a Brazilian champion, Magno. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. I'm really stoked. It was a hard heat again, and just really stoked to be in the contest still. I'm hoping we're still gonna get some good waves until the end of the week. So yeah, I'm happy and looking forward to my next heat.
I mean, we saw yesterday too, and even today, when a Brazilian wins on home soil down here, they're just fanatical down here, isn't it? Huge crowds and everyone just cheering for the Brazilians.
Yeah, the Brazilian people are really passionate. about the sport, and it's amazing. Like yesterday, we were like competing like 10-foot waves, and every time somebody would ride a wave, like everyone on the beach would scream, and we could hear from the water like the warmth for the people. It was amazing, and today again the beach is getting packed, and it's amazing to see bodyboarding here again, and so having such a great support from everyone.
Yeah, I mean, what's it like to actually finally get a Grand Slam on home soil here in Brazil?
Yeah, it's like it's been amazing because Itacoatiara is one of the best waves, one of the most powerful waves in the Brazil. Like the biggest crew of bodyboarders come from here. So as you can see a lot of like people on the beach. I never seen a crowd like that, like we saw yesterday here, and everybody just paying attention on the wave. So it was amazing. Yeah, it's amazing to see, and I really think this is gonna be a new beginning for the sport.
Yeah, I mean, just from going to all these other events, this is the biggest crowd I've seen at an event, especially yesterday. It was huge here on the weekend, bigger than pipe and stuff. There's so many bodyboarders from Brazil. You must be proud to be champion from Brazil.
For sure, yeah, I am representing the boys and having friends with you, rooting for you. I know they always rooting for you, but now they're close to us, and you can feel that. And you want to do better and better. And I'm stoked, yeah.
All right, well, congratulations. You're through to the next round, mate. You can go and watch your mate Dudu take on Lester and Amori in this one. Back to you boys in the booth.
All right, thank you, Alex, and thank you, Magnu. There you have it, Magnu Passos, the winner of that last heat. He will be moving on to round 4. Again, we may very well go into round 4. First, replays of waves we missed while we were away at the interview. There you have Dudu Pedra. Nice invert there, powering through that section. Solid wave there for Dudu Pedra, the local rider from Itacoatiara.
Andrew Lester also had a really good wave in that exchange and a good air. Got pretty well projected out, and he's surfing really good. So,
yeah, Andrew a little frustrated yesterday after his performance. Came back here today, refocused, recentered. Having a good day so far. Good first heat, looking pretty solid here. There you can see another one of Dudu Pedra's waves. He almost got upended, almost scorpioned himself.
That was nuts.
When you scorpion yourself in bodyboarding, you basically almost kick yourself in the back of the head with your own feet.
Okay, here's Lester up. Yeah, that just kind of putted away. But that last roll of Dudu was pretty critical, actually. So Dudu's got a 5.65. He doesn't need much to pass Omri. And there's 10 minutes left. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty exciting finish, I think.
And here we have a replay for
Lester's air,
Andrew Lester.
Gets pushed a little bit through the lip, but nice projection out. It's kind of hard to see from that straight on. Here's Omri up and riding. Oh, finds a good roll section on the outside. Can he get around it? No.
Still a solid wave from Amaury Laverne. A nice strong roll off of that section. A little behind it, had to power through, punch through, and got it around.
Yeah, he's he can work under intense pressure and conditions. So, this isn't unfamiliar turf for him.
Manny has made light of it on several occasions through tour events. Amaury's workout routine, his yoga stretching, his physicality in preparing for these events, unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a machine. He's heavy. Here's Yuri, who's actually going to, these conditions are going to suit Yuri pretty good, I think. Here comes Andrew Lester up on a wave. Good speed. Looks like a pretty good section coming up.
Nice
air.
invert. Nice air on that. Nice projection.
Wow.
Nice clean hit. Perfect timing. Clean landing.
Yeah, that should really secure his lead. Okay, Dudu Pedra on a wave that doesn't look quite as walled or anywhere near as good.
And it looks like all he's going to get is a pocket spin off of that and then pull out the back and look for something else. Meanwhile, there you can see Amaury cruising the horizon, looking for something to come in.
Okay, here's Andrew. You can kind of see him looking. Okay, he's got lots of good speed here. He's slowly drying up, and nice section. Boom, hits it just right. Nice. textbook air from Andrew Lester.
Nice maneuvering
That was
on
really
that
good.
one. So, let's see, just waiting for scores to drop on that last wave exchange.
Okay, Dudu's moved ahead. And so Andrew has increased his lead. He's got a 7.5 and a 6.43. Dudu Pedro's got a 6.25 and a 5.65. So, and Omri Laverne's with 2 5s. So Omri's got his work cut out for him. He's got to get, he needs a 6.77, which is easy for him to get, actually.
And
Like
there
he
you can
can get
see
those
what
things
Mike
pretty
and I talking about, the graphic at the bottom there, current situation out in the water with just under 9 minutes remaining in this heat.
Yeah, that time gets away from you really quick. You know, you'd be out there and thinking you have time, but, you know, for there to be a good wave to come in to where you're sitting, it might be 15 or 20 minutes. So it's pretty difficult to, you know, just make sure you're in the right spot at the right time. I mean, that's the key to it.
Now, I've noticed a lot of guys like Jeff Hubbard, Dave Hubbard, and a bunch of guys out in the water. You keep your waterproof watches on and set a countdown timer to keep track of the time in the heat while you're out in the water. Notice you've got a little watch on your wrist. Do you do that?
Absolutely. You know, one of the main elements to competition is surfing within time. Here it looks like one of the biggest sets of the whole heat. Let's see if anyone gets this. Looks like Omri's kind of up in a position. Whoa, this could be a good one.
Omri on a bomb. Look at this thing. Pulls into the barrel and tries to roll through.
Does he get through it? Let's see if that jiu-jitsu training. No. Omri, oh.
Still, Omri going for it. One of the bigger sets of the day. And he pulled into the barrel. It looked like he was going to have a good race there.
Yeah, for a while there, it looked like that might be like a good long barrel. And instead, it kind of just got shortened up, and so or ran down the beach. And so he just figured, okay, I get through the lip and try to punch through. But it might have been too late when he decided to do that. So he was a little bit too low.
Yeah, Omri had a high score yesterday with an 8.8 on a barrel ride. Not quite able to duplicate that success on that last wave.
Wow.
All right, so you know what, Mike? We're going to cut to a commercial break. We'll be back right after this. All right, and we're back, and I've just been given word that it looks like Manny Vargas is going to be stepping back into the booth at the end of this heat, give me a chance to duck out, go check my blood sugar, and grab something to eat.
Yeah, right on. We'll have some organic eggs in the bag if you want one.
Nice, I appreciate that. For those of you who don't know, haven't heard, I've made slight references. I was recently diagnosed back in April with type 1 diabetes, so I'm on a blood sugar level checking and insulin routine each day. But
that's that's happening more and more and more. You know, the diets of humans on this earth is out of control. We're eating way too much sugar. So everyone, stop eating sugar right now. Everybody.
So I've altered my eating habits. I've adjusted my daily routine. And you know what, I have to say, I made sure to be back out in the water after 2 weeks, and I've been training to get myself back into shape so I can resume competing in the U.S. But I just wanted to say thank you real quick to all of my friends and family who have shown their support and expressed their concerns for me. It's greatly appreciated, but I'm doing my best to just soldier through and keep doing what I'm doing. I'm still here trying to do commentary for the IBA. I'm still getting out in the water and chasing waves as best as possible. Still pulling into some heavy barrels at Postal Cinco with my friends here in Brazil and chasing waves in New Jersey. And thank you. So anyway, now that I have that out of the way, back to the action out in the water. So we have about 4.5 minutes remaining, and still Andrew Lester in the lead after jumping in front again. Dudu Pedro in second. Amaury Laverne looking for 6.77, trying to jump into that second spot and advance into the next round.
This is tough. Andrew, nice little ball on the inside. What does he got here?
Nice spin off the top, resets his line, driving for speed, throws a flip, and doesn't look like he's going to ride out on that one.
Maybe, yep, no. Gosh, everyone's kind of getting hung up on that left flip ball over there. It looks like a good flip ball, but then it kind of gets away from everyone. So it's a tricky move to do right there. Yeah, as I was saying, really, I mean, you're asking about what I've done. One of the things I have done is cut out sugar in my diet, and not just sugar in my diet, but high glycemic index foods, which are sugary foods. And when I started to kind of this new health kick, I was advised to just do like an antimicrobial, antifungal diet, which sounds pretty funky, and it is, but basically you eradicate all sugars and below earth vegetables even out of your diet because they're kind of high in sugar, like potatoes and sweet potatoes and stuff like that. So, but you'd be surprised if you just went into your refrigerator or cupboard and looked at the ingredients on your stuff, it's got sugar in it, more than likely.
Yeah, I have to say, it was an interesting wake-up call.
And Andrew, late takeoff in the ball, nice section. Oh, there you go. That was a nice little flip to boot. God, Andrew is surfing really well. I watched him the heat before I paddled out, and he was in third with a couple minutes to go, and then he got 2 8s. So he's in sync.
Yeah, he's definitely looking a lot more in tune today than he did yesterday. Yesterday, he was saying he had like a combined score of 4. It was probably one of the worst heats he ever surfed in his life. Wasn't too happy about his performance yesterday. He's definitely turned that around today. But to return to the dietary conversation,
yeah,
I always thought
it's a big part of an athlete or anyone functioning, really. I mean, you want to put good fuel in the tank. It's bottom line.
I always thought I was eating halfway decent, eating fairly healthy. Like you were saying, you start reading labels, start reading ingredients, and looking at your diet a little more closely. It can be kind of scary. Some of the things you're putting in your body.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the more you look into it, the more you realize that, wow, things are pretty jacked up, man, and how the whole food system works and so on and so forth. It's pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot of people on the earth, and that's kind of the dilemma. It's like, how do you feed everyone? But at the same time, you don't have to subject yourself to the run-of-the-mill foods. You can start, ask your, if you got parents at home, ask your parents, hey, I want to, let's try to eat a little bit more healthy. Maybe try to get stuff without sugar in it to start. Less processed foods. Try to buy organic if you can. Get fresh vegetables. If you buy meat products, make sure that they're grass-fed. And these are the things I've kind of followed, and I noticed a really big change, not only just in my energy level, but just my stoke. Like, it actually has a pretty big effect on your emotions.
And there you can see, with less than a minute remaining, Andrew Lester in the driver's seat, Dudu Pedro in second, and right now,
Amaury, it's, 40 seconds left. It looks like Dudu, local wild card, might take out former world champ Amaury Laverne, who got one of the highest scores yesterday. So, okay, so this is it. There's a peak down the beach. Amaury's paddling. Last chance. Nope. That's it.
That might have been his last opportunity.
He's got one more chance here, I think. He's paddling fast. He's trying to find whatever he can find. It looks like this might be a little left here, which suits him. Let's see if he can put it together. This is it. This is crunch time, man.
There you see him down the line, a little chop
bumps.
on the face, trying to force a flip off the top and not really coming together. So
I feel your pain, Amaury. I feel your pain.
All right, so before we duck out of here and let Manny V step back into the booth, any last words?
Yeah, enjoy the show. Thanks for having me, and stoked.
Mike, thank you very much for sitting in here, answering my questions, and helping me with
Yeah.
the commentary. As always, greatly
Yeah,
appreciated.
thank you. Thanks for all the positive sentiment.
All right, and we're going to do a quick little switcheroo, and coming up, Manny Vargas.
Yeah.
This is Mike Jackson. Oh, Winnie.
Oh, of course he does that. Are we on?
Yeah,
Hey guys, this is Ben Player and Manny Vargas. How you all going? And then we got Dave Winchester absolutely smoking his first wave of the heat. That's a nice invert air by Dave Winchester in red.
right off the bat.
Right off the bat. And yeah, we just saw that last heat. Pretty critical exchange in the last heat with Amori, unfortunately getting knocked out. So sayonara to Amori, who is probably one of the most consistent competitors of all time, right, Manny?
That's right, and he's one of those guys who's really focused and concentrates for this situation. But whoa, what's going on out the back? Ton of free bodyboarders way down the back, but look at this, Andrew Lester, big smiles.
Yeah, he won that heat, and Dudu as well there in blue, giving a couple of local fellas some high fives. He's a bit of a local hero out here, surfs at the biggest and best, and knows this wave like the back of his hand. And right there in the background behind Lester is the wedge. That's the headland where the wedge actually comes from, where you see all the peaks coming down the beach. That's produced by that one little headland back there, and of course Dudu knows that quite well. And that's what creates the wave being so heavy. And then we got Tom Rigby having a bit of a sniff, stuck in the back of the rip. And that's a big problem about this wave, is those currents that suck out. And they last for like 10, 15 minutes sometimes. And you got to make sure you're kind of well out of those currents, because they can chop up the wave and make it really, really hard to ride. And then we got another little shot of Lester. Look at him, mate. He's so stoked. Yeah, mate, I'll sign your shirt, because I just bloody won that heat. Yeah, so today we got we had the round 2, and now we got round 3. We're up to heat, what is it, 4 of round 3, and we're also going to run round 4 as well. We see the guy doing ARS in the background there, Lesty, who won that heat, and we've got waves in the 3 to 4 foot range. You'd say, Manny, pretty nice kind of waves, not amazing, but so-so. And then we got Winnie taking off in this heat, looking for a second scoring wave, because he knows he's already got that first one, which was the invert, which he got a 6.75 for his invert, which is a first wave. Still waiting for scores to drop for that second score. And so, yeah, it's been pretty exciting up here, Manny, watching this competition today.
Oh, man, the first 3 days of the competition of the live webcast, we've seen some heavy, heavy conditions out here on this beach break. I've been telling everybody it's like Porto Escondido and the wedge combined into one, breaking really close to shore, coming in from the deep, hitting the shallows on the sandbar, and just unloading all the water. So
did you see some of the shots, some of the highlight shots from last night?
Oh yeah, we played the highlight reel earlier today, and we'll probably play it again before we take off.
Hey?
But unreal.
Oh, there we got Tom Rigby going for a little spin. He's thinking about a nice little, going to get hung up there in the section for the roll, but still not